Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today let's look into one of the most powerful and top-notch feature of Java, which was released in the version 8 back in 2014. Yes, we are talking about Lambda expressions, and these are something that have completely revolutionized the way we write Java code. Let's look into Lambda expressions in today's video and see why they are such a game changer and how you can use them to write elegant and efficient Java code. So let's start by creating a functional interface, and I know that my recorder is not recording the creation steps, but no worries. So I'm creating the functional interface with the name functional interface. You see, I've created the interface here, and let's give the abstract method to this functional interface. Okay, so those of you who don't know what a functional interface is, it is an interface with only one abstract method. Okay, so let's give the abstract method to this functional interface. Let's say it will be the name of this method would be action, and it will accept two strings, and it will return a string. Okay, so this is the signature for the abstract method. Now coming to the main class, and so first of all, you need to know that lambda expression is a programming syntax that gives implementation to the method of the functional interface, to the only abstract method of the functional interface. And the signature for lambda expression is something like this. You give the parameters here in the parenthesis, and in the curly braces you write the function body. Okay, this is the signature. Now if you have only one parameter, then writing this opening and closing parenthesis is optional. And similarly for the body, if you have only one statement in the body, then you can skip the curly braces. So in that scenario, the code that you have to write is just one parameter and one line of the body of the function. So let's try to write the implementation to the method of the functional interface we created. Let's create the functional interface, my functional interface. And let's say the first implementation that I want to give to this action method is concatenating the two strings, right? So let's give that implementation. And since I have to accept two parameters, I will have to write the parenthesis, and then I will give this arrow symbol. And since I have to write only one line in the body of the function, I will skip writing the curly braces. Okay. What I will do here is S1 plus S2. So this is what I want to be done for the concat implementation. Similarly, let's try to create another implementation which will be like override. Okay. So if you pass two parameters, I want S1 to be overridden by S2. Okay. Now let's try to see. So this exactly the code that we have written. This is the code for lambda expression. Okay, we have created the lambda expression here, basically giving the implementation to the method, to the only abstract method of the functional interface. So if this feature would have not been there, what we would have had to do is we would have had to create an anonymous inner class. Okay, so what we would have to write in that case is we will have to create the anonymous inner class, and in that class this abstract method would be overridden, and here we will have to write the implementation. Like for override, we are doing this s1 equal to s2. So this is, kind of a boilerplate code, uh, which is not necessary. So using functional interface, saves us from writing such a big code, and the implementation to functional interface can be given in line, right? Now, let's say we are trying to, okay, we are trying to print. So let's say we create two strings, first name and last name. Now let's say we want to concat these two strings. Okay, we want to use the concat implementation. So we will use concat dot action and we will pass the two strings on which we want to use this feature. Okay, and similarly, let's try to use the override feature as well. So in that case, we will use override. Now let's try to run this program. Right. So you see in the first implementation, we have concatenated the two strings, and in the second implementation, the first string has been overridden by the second string. Right. So this was all that you want to know, that you need to know actually about lambda expressions. It is not something very difficult. It is very easy actually. And I've seen lot of interviewees getting failed when they are asked to create their own functional interface and give an implementation in interviews. So just need to keep this in mind. It is just this is kind of a basic that you need to know about functional interfaces, and rest everything you can build your knowledge on top of this. So lastly, I will tell you some benefits that are there by using lambda expressions. So first of all, it reduces boilerplate code. We saw that we don't need to write anonymous inner class. We are giving the implementation inline for the functional interface. Then because of that, it improves readability as well. The code is very concise. Then this is actually, a functional programming paradigm that we are using here. So we know that some other programming paradigms are there, like procedural programming, object-oriented programming. Similarly, we have event-driven programming, mostly used in UI development with JavaScript. Then we have aspect-oriented programming, if someone might have used Spring AOP. So this is the functional programming paradigm that we use. Then it improves performance as well because we don't have to create the anonymous inner class. So we are not creating the anonymous inner class using the new keyword. So the memory is not getting allocated for that inner class. So it reduces the memory footprint as well. Okay, so this was all that I wanted to share about Lambda expressions. Hope you liked it, and thank you.